Hello and welcome back to Wendigow Express. And today we've got a model review, but this time it's not a locomotive, it's this, the Dapol Diagram N Autocoach. Before we get a visual of the coach, one, I have to open the box, and two, talk about the price. This is by a long stretch the most expensive individual coach I've ever bought, totalling in at £70. Ooh. Which, for me, is a pretty big investment. With all that said and done, let's open the box. As I hope you can see, this box isn't like many other model railway boxes that I've seen anyway. It's got like this packaging that goes over the shell, which is quite hard to get off if you don't know what you're doing. And here it is. Pretty snazzy. And as an extra bang for your buck for the price, there's a detail pack here with extra proper couplings and coach gubbins. Pretty neat. And now, here is a closer look on the Autocoach itself. I'll be examining all its finer details, and we'll have a look at those now. Starting on the front end, you can see that the painting on the 37 is very crisp and clean, and it's got sprung buffers. Pretty neat. The windscreen wipers are separately fitted, and so are the handrails. On the side, the bogies are moulded very nicely. Look at that spring detail. The bogies are simple, yet clean. On the side, you can see that the GWR lettering is very well printed on, and so are the smaller crests that adorn the side of the coach. On the doors, there are handrails, but be careful when handling these because they move about a little bit more than you probably want from a coach. There's the smoking sign on the side of the window, looking very nice indeed. And then, so does the 37 and the luggage text. Very finely applied. Now, moving on to the luggage compartment itself, you can see there's a really nice separate handle on there and lamp irons, which poke out quite far from the end of the coach. And on the inside of the luggage compartment, there's a luggage box, which, if I'm not wrong, hides the speaker, which is pretty cool. And on the other side, there are sprung buffers too. Magnificent stuff. Now, moving on to the roof, you can see that all the separate little vents are fitted individually. Closer up on the roof now, you can see that there is some pretty awesome detail. Like, not even the fuzzy camera can pick up on all of this. Looking on the interior, you can see there are seats that are at the proper height, but we'll have a better look at the interior when we get those lights on. Now, I do the unenviable task of setting the coach on its side to see the underframe. On the bogies, you can see that there's all the full range of details on here, which are very, very fine and finicky. And the coupling is in a nice nem pocket. Going further along on the bottom, there are separate tanks and a lot of strut work. I don't really know what to call it on the bottom, and it's a little flimsy. That is something I'd like to comment upon. Some does come off as a little bit like if you handle it too much, it's probably going to break, which is not very good. But what is good is the bottom, what I've just described, is because the reason they have gone through all this plastic detail is to make it look as realistic as possible, and they really have done a sterling job. Absolutely fabulous work by Dapol, and we'll see it on the track, and we'll see those lights light up. And there it is on the track. But before I couple it up to a locomotive, let's see what the lights are like. Ooh, nice sheen to those. And now we get a proper good look at the interior of all those nice red seats. And the stickers on the luggage box. A further view inside makes you have a look at all the separate little LEDs that make up the lighting package. Looking very splendid. Oh yeah, did I mention it as a stay alive? This is a testing locomotive for today, and it's going to couple up to this coach that I have done a lot of talking about today. Let's see how it goes. This test is to check relative coupling heights. Ooh. The pannier tank's coupling looks a little bit high, but I think it will suffice. Beautiful. Oh, little cut out. There you go then. Now the obligatory points test. Let's see how well it handles that second radius point. Because if it can handle a train set point, I'm confident it can handle anything. And there you go then. Handled it perfectly. Now enter the whole reason I went for this maroon pre-grouping livery in the first place. I made a financial decision and decided to buy a Kerno rail motor. It was in the GWR maroon and it was pre-grouping, which kept in the theme of Lonely Yard Mark II, so I bought it. And ever since, I've been looking forward to this to come out so I could run them together. And now, mission accomplished. Well, I suppose I should say my final verdict now. Overall, a really wonderful coach. The detail is incredibly good, the lighting is very noticeable and powerful. Yeah. Honestly, if you have enough and you model Great Western, go for it. I do have a couple of issues though. One is the feel of it. It feels as if you like squeeze it too hard, it's just gonna disintegrate. And that's it actually. That's all the criticisms I have. So it must be a very good coach. So good job, Dapol. You've made a fine coach for a fine rail motor. Anyway, back to me. And that'll be it for this edition of Wendigo Express. Dapol have really knocked it out of the park with this one and have produced an amazing piece of plastic cobbled together to create an Autocoach, which is extremely good and well worth £70. I still think that is a lot of money for a singular coach, but that is just my opinion. Spread yours in the comments. Opinions always are welcome. And that is it for this edition of Wendigow Express, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!